Hi, I'm back again and I'm going to show you how to make a UV map for this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach everything together. Just go into the editable poly of the base, any object in element mode, go down to attach, and I'll choose the padlock and the lid. So don't need to worry about them being all as one just now because the pivot will have changed and I can't open and close the lid anymore the way I want it to. So that's the last item selected. So it's all one object for now. Okay, so I'll just collapse 2 and that basically bakes everything that I've done so far, and I'll save this. You want to make sure you're not in any of these sub-elements and use that unwrap UVW, and we'll go into edit, and you can see it's chaos at the minute. First thing I do is select element and face mode, and I'll just select everything. I'll go to tools and do pack UVs. And that kind of neatens things up a little bit better. But you can see this one's still a bit crazy, so I'll take this one, move it down here. I'll take these lot and move them over there. This, I think it looks like, yeah, that's all of that is the lid. So a couple of things I could do. I know that it was based on a cylinder that I made this object, so I could actually, with that element selected, oh, I don't want it back down, but with that element selected, I'll want to do a certain kind of mapping. So I'll close this for now, I'll right click and collapse 2. That basically, it's remembered the way I set up those UVs there for the time being. They're nowhere near finished, but it'll do for now. I'll select this element. With that element selected, the lid part, I'll go to the modifier and choose UVW map. I'll choose cylindrical. I'll change the alignment and I'll fit it to the object. I can also open this up and move the gizmo till it matches it roughly about there, and I'll do a collapse 2. That's baked that into that part of the model, so that element has now got a different UV coordinate from the rest of it. So make sure I'm just on the, make sure you're not selected any of these or anything when you're doing anything, just make sure you're not on this level. I'll go into the UVW unwrap, I'll edit. So it's got a whole lot of different stuff happening now. It's got a big giant part here. These need welded up if they're green. And yeah, it's looking a little bit more complicated, but I'll select my elements. Yeah, it's decided to detach those as well, which is fine. I'll deal with this in a little bit later. I'll just scale it all down. Oh yeah, sometimes it is a little bit annoying, but you have to take your time with UV mapping, I think. So I want to deal with this part, which is the top. So I'll do the pack UVs on it now to see what it looks like broken down a bit. It's still a bit of a mess. I'll try pack UVs with these checked. No difference. I'll try pack UVs, linear packing, and nothing. Okay. And it's all one element, so I can't really do very much. Although if I turn off select element, I can select faces, but you can don't want to do that because they're still attached to parts. So you really want to just work in an element at a time because they've been pretty much checked out. You can see there's nothing behind these ones, they're all pretty cool, but this little strange line here needs to be dealt with. So that can get moved into this part. Move these back. Okay, so I'll choose these and I'll do mapping, normal mapping, and I tend to do a box mapping. That basically looks at the element in all 6 angles as if it was a box. So it looks at it at the sides, it looks at it down like at the top, underneath, etc. And then I'll select all those, and now I'll do pack UVs, and that'll separate them out for me. Yeah, it's a little bit chaos, and you don't really want to have it all using up your UV space like that, so start to move things about here. Whenever you select something, the bits that's joined to will be purple, well, one edge will be purple. So I tend to bring out bits that are relative to each other. This part, and I'll flip it round. This part, flip it round. Yep, so it's kind of in line with itself. This part here, and I'll flip it round that way. Okay, I could go ahead and weld those up, but I want to see if there's any more bits that I could get. This, not really. Okay, so I could weld those up just now. Come out with select element, go into the edge mode, click on this and do weld selected. Or this one, weld selected. No, target weld. I seem to have a little bit of a malfunction with this sometimes, so unfortunate for me, I'll have to get into the edge mode there, so the vertex mode, and I'll just weld them up that way. And target weld back off. Choose these, and we'll scale them to the flat. Okay, so I don't even know what part of the model this is, so I'll just select it. I'll have a look at this. I'll go into wireframe, and I can see that it's this inside part. So I might want it to have a nice red felt or something. Not too sure what I want that to be yet. Okay, so I know that's done. I'll put that aside. This part here is, oh, it's the rim of that, obviously that top part, because we've been working on the top part, so that'll be relevant to these. So I can actually break that apart if I want. And I can attach them up here. Okay, so target weld, have to be in points mode. Target weld, and I'll connect it to its little purple friends, or blue in any other case. I've recolor coordinated things because I didn't like the fact that the blue was the same colour as the grid, so I went into the options. No, it's not the options, it's the display preferences, and I've changed this one to purple. You can change it to any colour kind of aqua colour now. I can change it to white. Shows up a lot better. I quite like white actually. Yeah. And the problem when it's white is these white bits are really obvious. So I'll put it back to my friendly magenta colour. Okay. I'll just straighten these up a little bit. I'm not really too fussed, to be honest. As long as they're straight. Now, something you have to bear in mind though is the geometry of these on the model. These are actually like this. That's actually like that. So it's kind of mitered. They're mitered together on the model. So it's good to leave them like that. Because if I'm bringing them in, shrinking them in, then there's actually more space needed here, then I'm actually giving it less space by shrinking it in there. So I want to mimic the shape on the model so that I've got more space on the UV map for the more space that there is in the texture on the model. You can get away with it sometimes. I don't want to weld these together because I'd have to find a kind of middle ground here. Weld those together. I suppose I could weld those together actually. So yeah, go for it, why not? Weld, weld, weld. I am welding away. And you want to straighten it all up. And don't expect your UVs just to be done for you in no time. Whatever method you use to make your UV mapping, it usually takes time and can be annoying. There is some programs that do it quick for you, but even they can be annoying. Like this one here, Roadkill. If you ever download it and try to unwrap, it's not bad, but it's not brilliant either. I've used it once. I've went back to using 3dsMax, and as you can see, it's already bugged out a little bit. There you go. That's it, just loading up. But I won't even show you that because that's a whole different ball game, and I don't even know how to use it properly. Okay, so that's select element, that's the inside of the chest plus the inside edge. Just turn the grid off there. Yeah. Okay, so you can see exactly what part that is. So depending how much detail you want is the size you make these in your UV map. So that can be relatively small on the UV map, but I'm not really ready for that stage yet. How much time have we got? Okay, so it's almost time out, and this is how far I've got. So it does take time to make the UV map. Almost run out of time. This I don't like at all. So I will take these guys and I'll deal with them in the next video. Okay.